What's up YouTube, BMR here, and today we're going to go over how to properly install your grip tires on your Mini Z. Since I installed my tires and I was able to drive it fine, there was no issues, but I actually was told by one of my subscribers, Ringod123, he told me that my radials were on backwards, and then I reached out to the Facebook group just to confirm, and somebody on the Facebook group had told me that also, so my back tires were on backwards, but also my front tires, let's see if we can zoom in on this. See how there's that little black ring right over the edge of the rim? So I have these grip tires installed backwards because that little groove right there that's going around the rim should be sitting on your lip that your rims have. So your rims have this little lip in there. And anyways, this groove should be sitting on top of that. So I installed these ones backwards on the rims themselves. I installed the radials the correct way on the rims. I just installed the rims backwards. So today I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to swap these tires over. So I'm going to make my radials face the right direction, and then I'm going to pull off these tires from the front end and flip them around on the rim so that way they're sitting flush on the tire and on the rim, and everything will be perfect and we'll be good to go. So anyways, guys, let's go ahead and get into it. So when you're installing your tires, it's best to have some kind of tool. I'm going to go ahead and use my dab tool that I have. This is basically just a dental pick. I'm going to go ahead and pull these tires off real quick, and then I'll circle back to you guys. All right, so we got the tires pulled off, and oh my gosh, guys, can you see all that cat hair and debris in there? That's terrible. I'm gonna have to start maintaining my cars a little bit more frequently. Normally, I'm used to drifting in a super clean area. Oh man, look at all that cat hair. That's crazy. Anyways, I'm normally used to driving in super clean areas, so these MR-03s, I'm gonna have to maintain this a lot more frequently because as you guys can see, this is just a mess. So we're gonna go ahead and flip this tire around on the rim. So I'm gonna grab this edge of my dab tool and just lift the tire up and pull her off there completely. So underneath, I'm going to try to be a little bit careful with how I'm handling this tire, since we still have my double-sided sticky tape. So this is PN narrow tire tape. I'm just going to use this same tire tape because we're not running super high speed, so I shouldn't have any issues as far as fitting. So here's what I'm talking about. See how the front of this tire, this is the front edge, and see how it's completely smooth, there's no groove or anything? And you flip around to this end, and here's that groove I was talking about that somebody had told me about on Facebook. So anyways, you want this groove sitting on top of that groove on your rim. So it'll sit like that. I had it installed backwards, and so they were facing this way. It doesn't hurt really anything, but this will mount it much better. It'll be more solid, and your tire's not gonna go anywhere. So let's go ahead and put this on. So I literally just take and stretch it kind of across the rim, and then grab your tool, and then you just lift it. I'm just going all the way around again. And so I'm basically pushing on both sides of the rims while I'm putting this tire on, just to make sure everything sits nice and flush. So that should be good. All right, guys, so here's the back of the rim, and see how that's sitting perfect. Here's the front of the rim. Everything looks good. Much, much better. Here's just a comparison of the other rim, so you can see that big groove there. So anyways, this is correct, and so let's go ahead and double this. We'll do it again on this tire. So again, we're just going to yank this off here. Be super careful because I have my tire tape installed. I highly recommend installing tire tape just to make sure your tires don't go flying off on you. Let's put this on here. Sorry if I'm going a little slower. It looks a little janky. It's kind of awkward to do this on camera. Again, I just get my dab tool in there, get it under that edge. Sorry, guys. Then I just slide it all the way around the rim, putting pressure on both sides of the tire and the rim to try to make it so it just fits a little bit more square. And I'm also pushing back a little bit to make sure that it fits on that lip of the rim. Let's drop. There we go. Let's take a look. Looks nice. Looking pretty good. So as you can see, there's some extra rubber, excess rubber on the tire. That doesn't hurt nothing, but everything else looks flush and perfect. So we're good for the front end. Let's go ahead and reinstall these. So much cat hair on my swing arms, rims, bearings, all that stuff. Oh man. So when I'm installing my wheel nuts, this one does not have the wheel nut on it yet. So what I do is I just check and see how freely the wheel spins, and then get basically a gauge. And then I'm going to go ahead and tighten my wheel nut down. So what I do is I tighten down the wheel nut pretty snug and then see how it rolls. So you can tell it's a little bit too tight, and then you just back it off an eighth of a turn, quarter of a turn, not, not very much. Just do little increments. There you go. Tires spinning nice and free. So your wheel nut's tight, but your tires are still free. So now we have the front end good. Let's go ahead and pull these rear tires. I went ahead and flipped the radial tires off camera, so now that the treads are facing the correct direction. So for radial tires, they have a V pattern like this, and you want that V pattern to be facing the front of the car or facing the front tire. So let's go ahead and zoom in right here. And as you guys can see, my V pattern is going towards the front of the tire, and that's installed correctly. And for our front rims, you can see there's no big gap there. There's no big gap on the front end, and my tires are sitting completely flush on the rims. They're completely flush mounted, and there's no raised edges on it or anything. So I just need to drive this car and break in these tires, and we should be running real smooth here. I'm really excited for this, guys. So I just wanted to real quick take a minute to highlight how to install your tires the correct direction, and just basically be mindful of the grooves for this front tire, because this front tire will sit on that lip. And for these rear radial tires, especially with the PN logo on here, it makes it really easy to tell that you have your tires facing out and they're going the correct directions. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. I just wanted to real quickly go over how to install tires the correct way and make sure that you're using tire tape. I already had my rims taped previously and I didn't touch them, so they're still nice and sticky. But basically, when you're installing your tires, make sure you have them taped down so they don't go flying off on you. Make sure you're mindful of the grooves so that your tires are installed on the rims correctly, and then be mindful of your treads to make sure that your tires are put on the correct orientation for the chassis to make sure that everything's installed correctly, and you'll be good to go. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys found this somewhat informative, and if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below, and I'll try to help you out the best I can. And if you have any questions that I'm not able to help out with, reach out to the Facebook group, guys, because the Facebook group is where I found the most useful information. There's some true experts out there, and they're really helpful too, and you can provide pictures so everybody can get a really clear idea of what issue you're having specifically, and you can get help and move on from there. So anyways, guys, I hope you found this video informative. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and see you next time.